And here I was thinking that I was a living, breathing example of a social phobia. A lot of my anxiety comes from social situations. Like I mentioned in my previous video about depression, there was an instance when I was 10 years old where I was forced to go to Chinese school. Looking back, I was actually afraid of public speaking, but I didn't know how to express that. I wasn't so good at Chinese, and I would have to speak in front of everyone's families. I tried to tackle this fear in high school by being in forensics, speech and debate. I did drill and thematic interpretations, and I won some awards here and there, but that didn't really help solve my problem. I remember in college taking a class, I think it was mostly disturbed children, and we were having a presentation about childhood phobias. And here I was thinking that I was a living, breathing example of a social phobia. I was having trouble making the presentation because my heart was racing, my hands were getting clammy, I was stuttering. During college, I didn't like to go to parties unless I had a group of friends that I could stick to and follow around. Luckily for me, that most of the parties I attended were at my college boyfriend's house, which they rented in Santa Cruz. And so if it got too crowded or if it got too uncomfortable, I would just hide out in his room. Now, whenever I'm invited to go somewhere, I still always ask who's going, because I need the people I know to be more significant than the strangers I will encounter. I also get anxiety making phone calls. I don't think I've made any phone calls since high school. I mean, even throughout college, talking to my boyfriend was always through online and through text. When it comes to adulting, it becomes really difficult. I don't try to call to make appointments unless I have to. Normally I just try to book online. And so if I have to make a phone call, I actually take about 30 minutes to prep myself, even if it's just to say, hi, I need to make an appointment. My anxiety gets worse when I have to do a phone interview. The night before I prepare everything I'm going to say, I can't fall asleep because I'm going over everything over and over again in my head. Usually the hour before and the hour after the interview, I'm still nervous, my heart's still racing even though it already happened, but I'm going over everything that did happen. Occasionally at night, I'll get anxious for no reason. I'll think of something from the past that obviously I can't change, like the senior speech at our state championships. I'll think, why didn't I say what I actually felt? Why didn't I say something inspirational to the lower classmen? I would just go over and over in my head what I should have said. This has happened to me several nights, but this is something that literally happened 13 years ago. There were a few times that my anxiety actually made me paranoid in a work situation. So I was really worried about something I did or something I said, and I felt like I wouldn't be able to deal with it, so I ended up writing a really long apology letter to my manager twice. And it's kind of crazy because I've never done that before, and it probably wasn't such a big deal to them as it was to me. Lately, the anxiety and stress has gotten much worse. I actually started breaking out in rashes. I usually get them on my arms and my legs, and they happen to pop up in a new spot every couple of days. Why are emotions so impactful physically and so mentally draining? It makes me think of our last vacation in Maui. We were having trouble getting a rental car, and then a nice old man offered to drive us to another rental company to get a rental. And so we were there for about 40 minutes making small talk, waiting for the car to get clean and ready. And by the time my husband and I were alone, I was like, oh my God, that was so tough and tiring, isn't it? It's a struggle. It takes so much effort to keep up a conversation with someone. I feel like I have to be a totally different person. Like my husband and I, for example, we deal with customer service calls and we have a certain personality. The kind, courteous, professional, where we have a different personality with our coworkers, with our family, with our friends. And then when it's finally us two, it's like all we have left is our inner child. We speak to each other like, give me love, I need hugs. So yeah, that's enough about me. Let me know in the comments if you get anxious like me or if you have it much worse. Thanks for watching.